I'm here with the one and only two-time UFC strawweight champion, Rose Namajunas. And yeah, I'm very happy to talk to you, Rose. How are you doing, first and foremost?
Oh, I'm doing great. Landed here in Vegas yesterday and well rested, well fed, feeling good.
Awesome to hear. Well, big main event coming up against Amanda Ribas, UFC Vegas 89 this Saturday. Um, First of all, your thoughts about the main event spot. You're familiar pretty much with it, being in big fights. Yeah, your thoughts about the fight and the expectation leading up to it.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this fight. Definitely excited to be main eventing. I'm used to fighting for, preparing for 5 rounds and obviously, I like to finish, but I like to know that I have the time to do what it is that I need to do in order to, put on a good performance. So knowing that going into it, knowing that I'm very prepared for everything, yeah, there's no better feeling. This is what I was born to do, and yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you're almost this is your 10th year in the UFC, right? It's like it's
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, you've doing this for such a long time already, and um,
yeah.
I, I not even can call you a veteran because you're still so young. You came so young in the UFC, so um, two-time strawweight champion now in the flyweight division. Obviously, you want to get to that title in the flyweight.
Hmm.
I want to go back to you to the last fight in Paris to Manon Fiorot. I think it was a competitive fight. You didn't get the win there. You broke your hand in that fight, right?
Yeah, my pinky got dislocated in like the
Yeah.
first minute of the fight, so it doesn't go straight, but I can make a fist, and it's really strong now. So, I did some like little physical therapy on it. Afterward, they put it back in place. I was very happy that like for a second I thought I was gonna need surgery on it, but luckily, you know, I got a specialist to look at it, and they were like, yeah, no, you're not gonna surgery is not gonna help it at all. So, but yeah, though in the first minute of the fight, that was pretty. It took me. It was very emotional for me because I was like, why me? I felt sorry for myself for like a good, I don't know, maybe half of the fight. And then towards the end of the fight, then I was like, oh wait, I think I can still do this. I can still win this. And yeah. And then, come to the end of the fight, it was like, dang, I wish I had a little more time, even though it still sucked because I was still trying to punch with it sometimes. Because I would forget sometimes, adrenaline is takes over and stuff. But yeah, definitely felt it every time I tried to stick it out there, and it was just kind of like, yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, because you had a strong finish, and I think yeah, you're normally known for like you have 5 rounds, and that was just a 3 rounder. So 5 rounds would have
Yeah.
been more convenient in that fight for you, I guess, right?
Probably, yeah, I believe so. I think Manon was she had some strong moments, but I think she was starting to fade, to be honest. And I felt like I was getting my confidence once I figured out, okay, what can I do with just this one hand, you know?
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
but listen, for me, it's crazy because in my opinion, you're one of the best women to ever do it in the UFC, and you're not ranked right now because you went from strawweight to flyweight, and it's like,
It's weird.
yeah, it's super weird, you know. It's do not see a
Yeah.
number behind you. So,
Yeah.
yeah, what do you expect from the Amanda Ribas fight? She's
Yeah.
good on the ground. You're pretty all round in my opinion. I think
Yeah.
when you started, you were really into the ground fighting more than the striking, but your striking has become so good as well. And I mean, you are the woman with 2 knockouts in the UFC against Zhang Weili and Joanna Jedrzejczyk. So I mean, can it be any better,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely, yeah, I definitely have a very well-rounded game, and I know Amanda does too. Her more of her, I guess she's got on paper she has, her judo black belt, which I am impressed with her judo and her ability to like, maintain top pressure and things like that. And but overall, I think just what makes her very special is her heart and determination and just her attitude towards a fight. Like she brings it every time. So and she's not just gonna roll over and quit. Like she's gonna show up. So to me it's all about I just believe in my skill set, and I believe that I'm just the better fighter all around. So it's just all about for me, it's important that I perform and that I, bring my best self, because if that happens, then it doesn't matter who's standing across from me.
And also, with that, normally you're fighting for big audiences, right? I mean, this is in the apex. Will it change anything for you? Is that different?
Not necessarily. I mean, I guess the size of the cage is
Yeah.
is a little different, but and sometimes the crowd does. I usually don't pay attention to it. I kind of just let things happen, So sometimes if the crowd, has an effect, like maybe pumps me up or something like that, like that's cool. But I just kind of, I kind of just go with whatever I can control. And so, but I do remember, like, it's just, I think it's gonna be similar to fighting in the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
It's a smaller cage in the Ultimate Fighter when I was there, and then even in Abu Dhabi, there was technically no crowd, even though it kind of felt like it was a big space that we're fighting in. Um, but yeah, so I kind of feel like this is kind of like some throwback vibes, you know what I mean? Like it's I don't know. Like I enjoy the crowd, but I also, and I've learned to enjoy it more, as I've gotten bigger fights and stuff. But I used to always be like, no, let's just fight in the alley somewhere. Like, let's nobody watch us at all. And I used to get nervous, just like, that definitely adds a lot of pressure, people watching and things like that. But that's also what makes it exciting and what makes it fun. So, it's just a double-edged sword, and I'm just willing to embrace it all.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I want to ask you, like I said, you've been 10 years in the UFC. What's been in your mind, the biggest highlight of your career so far in the UFC?
Yeah, definitely winning the belt. I would say, like both times was pretty spectacular. And I mean, I guess the second time is a little more fresher in my memory, but so I was able to like take it in a little bit more. And I mean, yeah, I would say that was definitely my highlight, because I mean, it is a highlight, but it also just like we are just talking about the crowd and stuff, like that was the loudest, I guess, response to a crowd reaction that I've ever heard before. It almost sounded like a bomb went off, because like my ears just, it's just like like I couldn't hear anything. That's how loud it was. And so yeah, that was electric, and definitely those are the moments where, like, the first time I won the belt, I always thought to myself, like, man, I don't know if I'll ever feel this moment again. Like, that's kind of one of those special moments. And it's like, and I'm always gonna hold that dear to me. And then guess what? It happened again. So I'm very fortunate and blessed to have experienced that. And but I also know that it's possible any given night, as long as as long as God is willing, for if that's in his plans and that's his will, then that's what's going to happen. And I know that that's the gift that I've been given, to put on spectacular performances like that. It just has to happen naturally, though. I can't force nothing.
Yeah, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you probably don't want to look past Amanda Ribas, but if you look at the division, if you beat her, you're in the top 10, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and the division is a little bit like stationary right now, with Grasso fighting Shevchenko. Probably in September, they first have to do the Ultimate Fighter, right? We got next week, we got Aaron Blanchfield taking on Manon Fiorot. I want to know your thoughts on that fight, actually, and I want to know how you think you're going to match up with all the other girls leading up after this fight.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting things happening in the flyweight division. Especially the Manon Firo and Aaron Blanchfield fight. I wouldn't be surprised if Manon wins, but I am very impressed with Aaron Blanchfield and her ability to just win. Like, she knows how to find a way to win, and she's getting better everywhere. And she's also has a lot of she pushes the pace. And so, to me, obviously, like, Manon is very good. However, just feeling how she started to, like, kind of fade away in the end of in the end of our fight, I'm thinking that Aaron Blanchfield might be able to get her, because I just think she might be able to push that pace a little bit better than her. And I could be wrong. I mean, I like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Manon does kind of pull it out, but I'm kind of leaning towards Aaron Blanchfield in that fight. And I'm very very looking forward to seeing what happens, and I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup. And then as far as yeah, I think that's pretty much it. For me, it's just like, yeah, if I could just get ranked after this fight, and obviously be in the mix. I want to put on a really good performance to where, I am right in that title contention or just whatever, that's obviously my goal right now. And I also want to say, I want to be able to come out of this fight healthy and with a good performance. Like, obviously, that's all in God's will, but if I can do that, and if that happens, then I'm looking for a quick turnaround, and I'm looking to, really yeah, get as close to that belt as possible, maybe get it this year if possible.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I have one more question for you, and that's about the Hall of Fame. Your former foe, former opponent, two times, Joanna
Mhm.
Jedrzejczyk, she got inducted in the Hall of Fame. Your
Mhm.
thoughts about it, and how important is it that she got inducted in the Hall of Fame? And I think you're a future Hall of Famer as well, by the way. But I want to know your thoughts
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, I'm very happy for her. That was definitely cool to see that. She's a huge inspiration to me, and obviously we had our little battle and stuff like that. But definitely very happy for her, and I'm just glad that she's enjoying herself, and that she can look back at her career and be proud of herself and stuff like that. So I know the transition, I've seen fighters make the transition from being a fighter to like post fighting, and it's a rough one, and it's tough because we love what we do and we always want to fight. But I think she can be very happy with herself and have zero regrets over her career, and just look back and be proud. So that's always good to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Rose, I want to thank you so much for taking the time doing this interview. I want to wish you all the best on Saturday, and I hope you get what you're looking for, obviously, on Saturday, and you do well in the rest of your career on the flyweight. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.